real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to my live stream today entitled, Is the Pandemic Over in the Philippines? This is interesting, man. I've observed a whole lot these last couple of weeks, man. I was compelled to ask that question. A guy says, good morning, Mo, by the way. Welcome to the NTZ crew. I know that Michael Beat Your Life's driving home. I believe he's driving home from, I forget where he said, but he's about 10 hours out. One click video said, Calvin, did you get those creams mixed up again? Last time you were putting body wash on your face, skin shining, you were sweating. Now it looks like you got that Filipino lightning cream. Now, really, one of my Filipino subscribers sent me that picture with a happy birthday on it. And I said, wow, let me just use that just to mix it up, guys, you know. But now, man, I'm proud of who I am. The exchange rate is 52.23. Still very, very good. I want to welcome any new viewers and any new subscribers today. If this is your first live stream, I always come up with a subject, but really it's your live stream. We'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. Hey, thank you, Malibu Ken. That's W Secrets to Success. I need you to send me another message either on my Sunshine Shoulders Facebook, wherever we be. I forgot where we communicate from, so I can send you a link for Tuesday's show. Hey, what's up, Vincent? Thank you, brother, for the happy birthday. And I want to tell everybody thank you for the happy birthday wishes. Remember, every day is your birthday in the Philippines, but you officially get 2 days to celebrate your birthday over here. See, it's the 29th already in the Philippines, but still the 28th in my hometown. So you officially get 2 days. Although I had to be reminded, Michael Beat Your Life, that every day is my birthday over here. And you're so right about that. And Marilyn won't let me forget that. She woke me up with a birthday cake today with Filipina icing on it. Hey, thank you, Hollywood baby, my favorite fireman from Atlanta, Georgia, man. I hope everything's safe over there. You haven't had to make any serious runs, but, you know, I don't use the word hero very often, but when it comes to firemen, yeah, they're heroes in my book. Hey, Ann Gonda, she says, Sir Calvin, shout out, please. There you go. Your wish is my command. Hey, DJ Lloyd Buck. Sam Champion, what's going on, brother? Thank you, man. I couldn't have did it without y'all. And I mean that. I don't take this stuff for granted, man, because I'll be gone the next day. You know, we live in that council society. I'm surprised we didn't get any kickback on that, talking about fat people the other day, because you can't use that word fat. They said it's inflammatory, whatever that means. But yeah, guys, let's get right into this. I was compelled to ask the question, is the pandemic over in the Philippines? Because I've noticed some things. I was going to the grocery store in Gasano Mall about 3 days ago, and usually when you don't have your vaccination card, you got to sign in for the contact tracing, right? There's no table there only the guard standing there, and I just walked through. I'm looking for the sign-in sheet. There's no sign-in sheet, so that was a mental thing I put in my head. But thank you, Mr. and Light Static, for that super chat. He said, "Good morning, Calvin. I've been watching you since the beginning. I bought my tickets. I'll be there August 28th to September 20th, my brother. Would love to meet you, bro. You played a major part in my decision." Man, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. And that would be an honor to meet you. I remember I came to the Philippines one time. It was August the 19th to September the 8th. It's a good time to come, man. Hey, Cos, thank you, man. He's the one that made that short for me. This guy's creative, man. His channel is, your channel is Cos, right? On YouTube. He's got a pretty good channel. Interesting. But I made a mental note of that. And then everywhere I go now, the tricycle drivers aren't wearing masks. Everyone's only wearing masks in public. But when they get out of the public, they're not wearing masks. Yesterday, I had a few people over for dinner. My shout out to Marilyn's mother and Marilyn for cooking yesterday. Nobody had on a mask. They didn't even come here with a mask. And I'm like, man, is the pandemic over or something? Did somebody forget to tell me? Everywhere I go, there's no mask. Okay. It's alert 1 in Manila. There's only one more alert, 0. That means remove the mask. I don't think that's ever going to happen. So alert 1 is the new normal, man. It's wide open over here now. No contact tracing. No COVID-19 test for incoming fully vaccinated tourists with at least one booster. I mean, that's big to be the Philippines, man. You don't even need a negative result anymore. No travel insurance. It looks like the pre-pandemic Philippines, man. And it feels like it too, because the long lines are returning. And it wouldn't be the Philippines without them long lines. And it's just something that I wanted to bring to people's attention. Hey, Mo, he said, happy birthday, Brother Cal. 59 and a half is only 6 months away. Yeah, man, I tell you, they cooked so much food yesterday. I said, if I keep eating like this, I won't make it to 60, but I don't normally eat like that. He said chunky might be more correct. Yeah, it's funny because, the guy he's got a video and the thumbnail is him on his knees proposing. He said, I married my girlfriend online. And I'm like, of all these beautiful women over here, he comes over here and picks a woman that looks like Ernest Borgnine. Like, come on, man. You making all Americans look bad. All these beautiful women over here. And you pick a woman, look like she was a star of McHale's Navy. Hey, he said, what's the exchange rate? 52.23. Ed Reyes says, most COVID deaths are either vaccine-related or malpractice-related due to deadly protocols put in place by Federal Death Administration. Wow, I never heard of it like that. Yeah, he had to come over and chose a lady that looked like Ernest Borgnine. I'm like, and if you don't know who Ernest Borgnine is, go and, rest in peace, Ernest Borgnine, but you was an ugly son of a gun. Probably one of the ugliest men on TV back in that day who became a star, by the way, because I love Ernest Borgnine. But yeah, he was tore up, though, from the floor up. And these guys coming over here marrying these women, man, like that. I love the time. Good morning, Cal, and everybody on the Sunshine live stream. Hollywood Baby said, hey, Cal, me and wifey paid our house off yesterday. Oh, man, so you're going to burn the mortgage. Finally know how you feel, brother. It feels good. God is good, man. It is, man. To not have that, that's a death sentence, man. Whoever came up with that is brilliant on one hand and evil on the other. To tie somebody to that 30-year, even a 15-year mortgage. It's nothing, to shake a stick at, guys. DJ Lord Buck said, a regular guy in the Philippines, no fear, just facts. Profanity not required. I must have missed something. He said, I'll stop the fear stuff. Okay, I get it. He said, the title of your house belongs to the bankers. They can come and take it anytime. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The guy was, whoever, the people who created that 30-year mortgage. I know they do it so we can afford it over there. Imagine they have to give you a 30-year loan in order for you to build a house. How complicated is that? When you can come over here and take $15,000, $20,000 and just build a house and be done with it. See, what we do is we get caught up on that hamster wheel. We get caught up in that neural thinking, and we don't realize there's other options for us. As a matter of fact, our government discourages us from leaving the country and even looking for other options. So Tori Mackey says, here's to you getting the triple digits in the Philippines manifested in existence for you. Hey, thanks, man. Retired 2019 said, Calvin, what's your favorite beach? I'm going to have to say Boracay, even though it's commercialized, but there's so many retired 2019. I've got to go to Dumaguete in the morning for my exit clearance. And Siquijor Island, man. I mean, you've seen Bantayan Island, but they've got Comodes Island that I've been to. It's hard for me to say what is my favorite one, but if you had to tie me down, I'm going to say Boracay, because you see those the sailboats out there. I mean, it's beautiful. They've got it looking real fancy, and you know, the people watching and everything like that. He said monkeypox already has a vaccine, I heard. Wow. Well, monkeypox is old, really. John Adams says, thanks for the video, Sunshine. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Thank you for watching, man, and supporting me. Golden Gate said, Calvin, the ceiling lighting scheme is in the guest house is off the hook. It's going to be even more enjoyable when getting a massage. Yeah. You know, that was her brother's idea. I mean, this guy comes up with all kinds of stuff. It was his idea for this fancy fence out here. But he's a perfectionist. He's like me. I don't know if that's good or bad, but man, this guy works, man. He won't let one hair get out of place. No, I've got a property tax, John Roman. We paid it back in March. It was due March 31st. It's like 1,750 pesos or something like that. Merlin takes care of all of that. Yeah, you're so right. I'm tired of it. Yeah, you're right, regular guy in the Philippines. He said, Calvin, there are beaches with no tourism that are just as beautiful as Boracay. I've got to agree with you, man. He just asked me that, and I just threw it off my shoulder, man, and said, you know, Boracay, because, you know, it's the stretch of beach is so far. But let me go back and say this. Glen, there's a little small place called Glen. It's in the Sarangani province. It's the southernmost tip of the Philippines. It's about an hour drive south of General Santos City. I'm going to have to say that's my favorite beach in the Philippines. I'm going to tell you why, Retired 19. We were there at night, and I didn't even notice it. I just looked up, and because, you know, there's no lights around. It's so dark. It looked like somebody took a cup of glitter and just threw it in the air. It's the most stars that I've ever seen in my life. It was just unbelievable. Oh, okay. He said, I'm talking about starting a YouTube channel. Calvin, thinking about starting a YouTube channel. Not too many YouTube channels for retired single guys. You know, start today, because there's nothing to a YouTube channel. You got a YouTube account already, Retired 19. Just get in front of a camera, talk about what you're going to talk about, and upload it. And then just keep doing it. Eventually, somebody's going to see it, and you're going to attract people who think like you think. There's a great video out by Simon Sinek. I believe that's his name. and he talks about why, and that's what he says. He says people don't follow you for you; they follow you for them. And I'm just paraphrasing him. And he said the reason why so many people came to that March on Washington when there was no way for anybody to promote that, really, there was no internet, fax machines, or anything like that, is because of what they believed. And it's not what Martin Luther King believed, the organizers of the march believed, is what they believed. And it makes a lot of sense. And that's what you got to think when you make your video. The only reason my video has gained the traction it has is because people believe basically what I believe. When it comes to looking for another way to live, some different options, man. Yusuf Amal Habib says, my son's mom, who lives here in Canada, is from Serengeti. It's beautiful if you go there. Man, there's no tourists there. The very first day, we arrived on a Thursday, and this is 100% fact. We were the only one on the whole stretch. I guess it's about a half a kilometer stretch of beach, white sand beach. I mean, just beautiful, man. Hey, CJ Jackson, say happy birthday to you, and I'll be 56 years old on June the 6th myself. Looking forward to coming back to the fields in late June, man. Hey, thank you, brother, and come on back, man. It's a good time to be here because pretty soon, I'm going to tell you, the floodgates are going to open up now that they've got this no COVID-19 test. See, they're doing all that. If you read that article, go ahead and click on that and read it. It's from the Inquirer. It's not something I made up. They're saying they're doing all this stuff. They're trying to restart that international tourism back that helps with so many jobs and everything, man. You remember it was like 1/10 of the gross domestic product comes from tourism, domestic and international tourists. 1/5 of all Filipino workers work in the tourism industry. Wow. Retired 2019 said, Calvin, how long have you been off the hamster wheel? I've been off the hamster wheel since December the 3rd is when I left the United States, 2018. December 3rd, 2018. I arrived in the Philippines December the 5th, 2018. I've been off the hamster wheel ever since, and I have no plans of going back. I've got an 11-year-old son in America. He'll be 12 in November. And then I've got a 10-year-old son here I'm taking to get his passport renewed. I believe his mother's supposedly coming to pick him up, to take him back. That would be the only reason that I would ever go back there, because I want to be a part of their lives. It wouldn't be to permanently live there, though. And it wouldn't be to jump on the hamster wheel. It would just be for their sake. I don't know if anybody's ever been in a situation before. It's just kind of hard to be in a situation when your sons are so far away from you. They really, fathers really play an important part. I mean, that's a duh. I'm just saying, I'm just thinking out loud. And I would really want to share their important years with them. Hollywood Baby said 2026 is my timeline to get off the hamster wheel if I can live to see it. Yeah, that's right around the corner. Believe it or not, that's nothing. Because I was looking at my debit card the other day, and it expires 3/24. But when I got it, it was like back in 2018 or 2019. I was like, wow, that's a long way out. But now, it's just right around the corner. And my Capital One actually expires February of 2023. So, time just goes by. He said, Calvin, did you talk about how you met your current girl? I did. I met her on Filipino Cupid at a time when I really wasn't looking for anybody. I was happily married, believe it or not, when I met Merlin. And, it wasn't anything that was supposed to be serious. I just knew my wife she was going to move back to America. And I didn't sign up for that. And so I was being a little proactive. I'm like, okay, well, since you're going back and I'm not going back and I'm not going to be over here by myself, maybe I'll just get a little playmate over here. It never occurred to me that we'd still be together. Kevin Nash's Kitchen said, did you get a new deodorant and some nice cologne for your birthday? I didn't. But I'm just now, I think I've got one last, do I got one last one? No. I'm down to my last 2 bars of this Squatch soap. And I'm not promoting this, guys, but if you can buy this Squatch soap, man, it's got different flavors. Emmanuel Finley sent it to me. He sent me like 5 bars, and then I used those up. It was so good that I ordered 10 more off Amazon. And I've got 2 more of these left. I mean, this stuff is good. This deodorant by Squatch. And normally, I only use Secret. It's the only thing that works for me my whole life. But this works. This Squatch. It's natural, man. It doesn't have all those chemicals and stuff in it to answer your question. Ron Scudder says 2026. Look like everybody's going to be retiring in 2026. Maybe we should have a retirement party over here in 2026. Charlie Wayne Adventure said the pandemic is so over in the Philippines. Recent Baguio required QR codes, only place I run into requirements. Excuse me. It seems like the pandemic is over, but I don't want to be, because somebody will say, oh, man, you're being irresponsible saying that. I'm just asking the question, is it over? Because it seems like it. People are out here. There's no mask, really, unless you go around somewhere where a mask is required. Like if you go to like a mall, you're going to see people with masks on, but away from that mall, nobody's wearing masks. The tricycle drivers aren't wearing masks. And it just has that pre-pandemic feel to it. It's crowded again. I mean, I was lucky. The last time I went to Cebu, we were lucky to get on the ferry. I mean, I'd never seen so many people during the pandemic in line over there for that ferry during the pandemic until now. I mean, they were nuts to butts too, and no social distancing. And it doesn't seem like the numbers are going up. Harlem Strong says, I'm 41 in the U.S. and we'll be working here 6 months truck driving and 6 months there in the Philippines. Minimalist all the way. That's a great plan. It was a plan that I had thought about before. But then I said, no, I'm not going to half step. I'm either going all the way or nothing at all but that's a good plan, really. I'd come over here when it starts getting cold over there. Mo said, congratulations on completion of the guest house, Calvin. Well done. Thank you, Mo. I don't know when you was here. Had I started on this yet? I can't remember. I can't even see what was over there now. Did y'all see the fancy cement work that they did over there? It's really looking sharp, man. Yeah, that's an old Navy term, nuts to butts. Because they tell you, in boot camp, to get real, real close together. Salvador says, I'm doing 2 more months. And I'll be in the Philippines, man. Come on. He said, how did you lose 30 pounds and got in shape? Well, it was real simple. I don't eat a lot of my comfort foods over here. And then I started that body weight exercise. And just, you can't outwork a bad diet, okay? So you're going to have to tweak your diet. Remember, if you go back and look at the video I did on the fountain of youth over here because it's real. You got 365 days of sunshine. We need the sunshine. That's really the Son of God, okay? Then you got the beautiful women, man, or the beautiful woman that's going to inspire you, man. Do not discount the influence of a woman on your life. Look at your mother, your sisters, Then you tweak your diet, then you get active. And it's going to happen, man. I promise you. You're going to walk more over here than you've ever walked. You're going to, and you're just having sex is exercise. See? Mr. Andalite Static says, were you afraid the first time you shaved your head of how you would look and that maybe it wouldn't suit you? Yeah, I was really, but I didn't have a choice, man. My haircut was so bad over here that it looked worse with hair on it than it did with me being bald. W Secret Success Blog said, Calvin, when was your last good steak? I'm not gonna lie to you, man. They got good T-bone steaks down in Zamboanga. They're small though. They're not big like in America, but they're delicious. But it's been a while because remember I've been back in St. Carlos City for almost 2 years. Will be September. But I'm gonna tell you something. At if you go to Mahawani, they've got a really, really good bulalo steak. It's like a steak where they put gravy over top of it with, vegetables and, potatoes, corn, different things like that. It's delicious. So I'm going to say 2 weeks ago. I love what John said. I remember that expression when I was in Great Lakes. Yeah, that's where I went, Great Lakes. Gulad Warsama. Congratulations on the guest house. Looks beautiful. Yeah, we stayed in there last night. And it was comfortable, man. I'm going to tell you something. That bed that I brought for you guys over there, it's more comfortable than my own bed. And it costs less. It had believe it or not, it had a box spring. I was shocked. It's hard to see that in a little place like St. Carlos City. John Adams said, Calvin, do you plan on going to Cebu anytime soon? I have to be at the U.S. consulate with my son June the 9th. So I'll probably arrive somewhere around June the 7th or 8th because our appointment is early at 8:45. And you really have to be there. They don't play. You have to be there. I'll be there early. Him and his grandmother, they're flying in from Zamboanga. I'm going to meet them on the 8th of, the 9th. I'm sorry. And the appointment's on the 10th. But I'll probably go a couple of days early. Hey, Jay Dow says, hey, big bro, congrats on the guest house. You're an inspiration to us all, man. Thank you, man. The universe put that on my heart to build that. If you think I'm joking, man, all you got to do is go back to one of my videos when I was talking about building my house. And I talked about we're going to build a guest house right next to it for my subscribers. And Merlin made me mad one time. I was like, man, I'm out of here. I ain't going to build that house. And then one of you guys said something on a live stream that really just knew I had to build that house. They said, Calvin, man, that's going to be like a shrine. You build that thing. And people are going to start coming, writing their name on the wall, leaving gifts and different stuff like that. And that was just the universe talking to me. Alan Fish says you can't say nuts to butts anymore in the Navy. Oh, it's heel to toenail. Oh, okay. That's funny. Alpina R says the Son of God. I like that. Yeah, I believe that's what that is. The religion I grew up on, man, it was created way back when, man didn't understand day and night. He didn't understand earthquakes and volcanoes and all that. DJ Joe says, it still feels like the pandemic due to virtual online classes for international private schools in English City. Public schools are doing face-to-face classes, not private schools. Yeah, they're getting ready to start private. Well, if you ride a bus from here to Dumagetti, like I do in the morning, you're going to see all kind of schools along the way face-to-face, but they're public, like you said. But all schools are going to be face-to-face here when school restarts. Hey, Virgilio says, hey, Calvin, greetings from the DR. Just wrapped up 3 months in Brazil. That's going on. He said, what's going on over there, ladies-wise? Oh, man. Well, you left a place with beautiful women, and you're going to come to a place with beautiful women. It just depends on what you like. They're not going to be as voluptuous as in Brazil, but as beautiful, yes. I was in Rio de Janeiro, man, and I tell you what, you don't get any more thirstier than you do when you're sitting on Copacabana Beach, sipping on a cup of coffee at one of the outdoor cafes, and some woman walks past with a fishnet bikini on, man, and that's no big deal there. The G-string was invented in Brazil, and I mean, it's just something you need to see. The Philippines is not the only paradise. It's just the paradise that I'm living in right now. There's many paradises here. DJ Joe said, Calvin, make sure you do your own guest house blessing. Yeah, don't let a subscriber guest beat you to it. Well, I did that last night, and that was the one reason why we had the house blessing, so that I could go ahead and stay in there, because that's one, if you stay over here long enough, man, you're going to start picking up on these traditions and stuff over here in the Philippines, and they'll say, hey, don't stay in there until you get it blessed. They just put that seed of doubt in your mind. And he said, well, what could happen to me over there? Because I never had my house blessed in America. Maybe that's why I'm not there anymore. But the house is still there. Hey, California Oscar, this guy, man, if you've ever seen this guy in real life, man, he's probably got the biggest head of any human being I've ever seen. And then he wears these little small caps. Is that the style or something in California now, Oscar? I'm going to put a picture of you on my community page because people think I'm playing. This is one ugly dude. You and Ernest Borgnine are running 1 and 2. That's a fact. I don't know how you got that beautiful woman. He's got a Filipino over there that he met in America. I don't know how he got her. He's probably paying her big time. Kevin Nash's Kitchen said, women in the Philippines tend to have less booty and chest, but very petite, yes. Oh, man, it depends on where you go now. My soon-to-be ex, man, she's 36, 26, 36. If you go down if you go to Cebu, if you go down in Mindanao, then you're going to see that the Filipino is not a typical Asian woman, man. And a lot of them really, they have perfect bodies. They have perfect shapes. Nothing's out of proportion. And that's what you'll notice. But no, they're nothing like just the bombshells that you see in Brazil. I mean, it's just ridiculous over there, man. I mean, believe it or not, we were there for 5 days and 4 nights. I spent all of my money the very first night. I had to borrow money from some of my shipmates, man. I spent it all that first night. I mean, I'd never seen anything like that before. Hey, Michael Dawsonville says, happy birthday, big brother. Keep up the good work. Thanks, man. I know your wife is from Zamboanga. Lucky Boy says, I think he meant have sex in the guest house for a blessing. Perhaps I just misunderstood. Yeah, that's what I knew is what he was talking about. And that's what I did. That's what we did. And it was good, like it always is. Hey, Curtis Eugene Thomas. Man, you got one of them old school names. He said, what's up, Calvin? I'm going to Thailand and Philippines on my vacation in September. A couple of girls in Thailand and 2 in the Philippines. So what, are you on the dating sites in Thailand? See, I don't know anything about Thailand. And that's a fact. If y'all can uh, bring me up to speed on Thailand. How do y'all uh, meet the women over there? Because I was told that they don't speak a lot of English over there. Somebody help me with that. Um, because I'm going to do my visa run there. I wasn't going to tell anybody. I was just going to, you was going to show, you were going to cut on you. I'm not going to tell you when though, but that's where I'm doing my visa run. And the only reason why, because the tickets are a lot more affordable than going to Guam. I mean, a lot more, like a third of the price. And the plane ride is shorter, and there's no COVID test required. I mean, at all. You just, get on the plane. Because I don't know about anybody else. I don't like that COVID test. And I'm so thankful. See, what I'm going to do, when I get back from Dumagetti, Maryland's going to set me up an appointment to get my booster shot. Because then when I come back to the Philippines, I won't need to take a COVID test either. Man, them things are treacherous, man. I'll tell you again, I didn't know, when I first had it done down in Zamboanga, I didn't know whether to call the ambulance or the police. Really, man. I mean, I was assaulted, man. And it ain't no joke, believe it or not. Oh, okay. He says they can speak some pretty good broken English. I've been kind of watching a lot of videos on Thailand lately because I've never been there. And I'm going to do all of my vlogs on Thailand. Will I do a comparison? Yeah, but I don't believe that it's necessary to compare one paradise to the other. I don't think it's necessary. It's like apples and oranges. Thailand is Thailand. The Philippines is the Philippines. And I won't do it. I won't do that. But I will talk about, some differences, but I won't compare them. Tony says, is it safe to go to a bar since the Omicron is not over yet? Yeah, if you saw a lot of these rallies, these election rallies, man, it was like a outdoor concert, man. And it's just like the pandemic's over here, man. I don't get it. And then you gotta realize now that the restaurants are operating at 100%, when you get inside to eat, you take off your mask anyhow. See? Darren Cooper said, hey, Cal, you plan on getting an SRV retirement in the future here? I just got mine. It's very easy and cheap. No more visa runs. Maybe somewhere down the line, but I don't think I'm going to get an SRRV. I never even considered an SRV prior to the pandemic. You didn't have to. And then, I was married, so we were in the process of getting me a 13A when we split. See, so I don't think so, because I mean the 3 years, and a cloud of dust, it's not that bad for me. After 3 years, you say, hey, I'm gonna use it really as a vacation when I go over here. That's why I didn't go just for one day. I'm gonna be there for 1 week. He said, we're in Thailand and you're going, I'm flying into Bangkok. And of course, I'm going to take the train to Pattaya. I'm not going to Phuket, however you pronounce that. It's too far away. JLNT3 says, watch Richie Mack zoom to Thailand on YouTube. You won't be disappointed. I've watched him before. I can't really relate to that. I don't live like that. He really lives on a high level. I get what he's doing though, but I'm going to be like, I need to watch channels for beginners over there. Because, I'm not going to be over there. I really need to know, just like I'll be answering questions that you guys have about the Philippines. I need to watch a channel like mine on Thailand. You know what uh, taxis to catch, which ones not to catch, how much money should I exchange. I'd like to hook up with him. Where is he? That would be great to just to meet the guy. Oh, come on, man. That's exactly what that means. I haven't got my divorce yet. She won't give it to me, man. I don't know why. She's moved on. I've moved on. And, it would be so easy for her to file for divorce in America. I mean, it's difficult for me to do it. Like, it could have been over. Curtis Eugene Thomas said, yeah, some of them speak English, but not as good as the Filipino women I met. Filipino women. I met them on, Cupid. Oh, okay. Kaz Boy says, do not have to speak English when the language of love is involved. Same around the world. I agree. But I mean, you want to have, if you don't think communication is key, yeah, if you're just going to deal with the bar girls, but communication is key, man. That would drive you crazy. Somebody keeps saying, huh? What do you mean? What do you say? What do you say? And then you can't understand her. No, that would drive me crazy. Mike M says, thinking of starting mountain biking, cycling over there. Do bicycles get stolen in the Philippines often? No. But I had a landlord from Australia that told me, he said, you got to keep an honest man honest here. You don't want to leave your gate open and a bike right there, because he said a lot of his tenants are affected by the petty theft. But no, and it's big over here. I've got a friend from Australia. I mean, this guy, if you look at him, you wouldn't think he's a triathlete. And man, he rides these mountains, and he's ridden a bicycle from here to Bacolod, from here to Dumaguete. He's a super athlete, man. But if you look at him, you wouldn't know it. But I've never had my bike stolen. Stylish over 60 says, hello, Calvin. I will be in the Philippines in July to meet a Filipino in person for the first time in Manila. We plan to spend time in Palawan, El Nido. I've heard that's a nice place. I've never been to El Nido. Let me see. Mark White, he came over to visit me. I believe he spent 10 days there. He said it was he didn't see any beaches. It's more like for snorkeling and diving, a lot of caves and stuff like that. But yeah, that July is right around the corner. Alan Fish said the COVID test wasn't that bad. I sadly just left Okinawa and had to get one 3 months ago. It's less of an assault now. It's just a little tingling, they're just sticking it down in my nose like that, man. Because I took an antigen test, which is basically the same thing. I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to take the antigen test to go to Dumaguete before everything was open wide. So I go to the hospital. I'm thinking they're going to take my blood. It's the same damn thing. I guess it's just the actual test that they run. You stuck the damn thing down both sides of my yeah, I don't care about this, guys. Really. I don't understand that. I mean, he's just an undercover troll. That's all it is. I mean, if you're a YouTuber, look, and you got to do content on somebody else, man, you don't need to be on YouTube. That's just my humble opinion, especially on the Philippines. Steve says, what's the exchange rate? Right now it's 52.23. Retired 2019 says, I'm coming my first time solo. That's not going to last long. I promise you that. Despite what been said and over here, man, these women over here, man, they're going to grab a hold of you. One of them is going to get you. And that's a fact. And even if you don't meet one online, one's gonna catch your eye. There's some beautiful women over here, man, and it's a lot of them. And they're approachable, man. Filipinos are so nice. They're so friendly. I say it all the time, but really they'll almost apologize to you if they don't like you. But see, I was talking to Marilyn last night. I just happened to meet her at a time when I wasn't looking for anybody. That's usually when you find somebody. And I was already settled in my life. And she was too. If I could do it all over again, because I was telling guys, if I could do it all over again, I would get me a young girl, but I wouldn't, man. I wouldn't. It's just, they're not mature enough for me. Wait, let me read this. Harlem Strong said, actually, language barriers make it easier to approach a girl in Thailand because you get her attention and they take the time to try to understand you. Then use the translate app, and it's funny. Yeah, but what happens after that? You're going to be with the translate app, give me a blowjob, and then give it to her, and then, who wants to do all that, man? Darren Cooper says, hey, Calvin, you will love Pattaya in Thailand. Lots of American restaurants there. Check out Sizzler Steakhouse. Oh, wow, in the mall. Yeah, I'm going to go my second day there because when I arrive, it's going to be like 10:45 at night. And I'm probably going to be tired. And I'll probably just walk around Bangkok and different things. And, I had to cancel my Airbnb reservation. I got, I joined the Thailand Facebook group and I said, hey, is it going to be hard for me to catch a taxi at 12 midnight to my Airbnb? And he says, man, Airbnbs are illegal over here. He says, and if you're staying less than 30 days, you can't get in with a Airbnb. So I'll just get me a hotel. Anybody know anything about that? Oh, okay, Danny. He said, let me know when you go. I will meet you there. I go all the time. I just changed my mind because it's just a shorter flight, man, to be honest with you. And it's a third of the price. And I just wanted to I wasn't too excited about going to Guam. I was excited to meet Fred and Rudy and all that, but it didn't grab a hold of me like Thailand did. So the plane ride won't be so long. It's 3 hours, but it'll go by so quick because I'm excited to go there. And I just thought it would be, just a shock, especially to the haters, to see me over there, man. And one guy said, Cal, be careful. He said, hell, you might stay over there. Oh, okay. Butcher, thank you, brother. He said your videos are awesome, man. I just talk about my life, man. Really, all my videos are about my life. Maurice Holmes said they got some beautiful women in Thailand. Richie Mack is living the life there. Yeah, I saw that, man. He's got a great channel, man. It's just that this is my first time going there, and I need something a little bit more basic. I mean, really. He said Thailand's a lot of bar girls, not my thing. Thailand, retired 2019. Oh, no, okay. I hit on the wrong one. Amos Doctor said, Cal, your head is on straight. This jealous guy has 11,000 subs, and you got twice as many. I'm in Minglanilla and digging your content. Keep it up, my inspiration. Trust me, your content is needed. Thank you, Amos. I appreciate it. Yeah, I go past Minglanilla on the way to when I should go to visit my son in Naga City. And I always see that I love Minglanilla sign up there. Okay, Link 1111 said, Cal, what's your opinion is a mature Filipino? Is it from 26 to 38? How you see this? So we have this in mind. Yeah, I would say that. Now they're a little bit older than their age because they started out doing a lot of things earlier than the typical Western lady. But you'll know real quick, man. You don't want anybody. I mean, we love young women for obvious reasons, but when the dust settles, man, you're not going to have anything in common. She's not going to really appreciate what you can do for her. And, the only thing that's better than love over here is appreciation. She's not going to be able to appreciate it. No matter what you do, it's not going to be enough. She's going to wear that poker face. And all that old grinning and laughing and stuff and being around her friends, that would drive you crazy, man. So, yeah, I would say it depends on the individual, but that is a good age bracket right there. I would say the perfect age, really, I wouldn't go any lower than 24. And that's a fact over here. And because by that time they finish college, they're in the workforce, they've had a couple of bad relationships over here, and they can appreciate what you're bringing to the table. Love, man, I'm not too interested in love, really. As long as you can appreciate me and don't take me for granted, I'm okay with that. Hey, Neil Ram Ratton says, if you stay in a hotel walking distance from a train station, you can take the train from the airport. Careful with hailing taxis right out of the airport. They can take advantage of you. Thank you. See, that's the type of information I need. I was told something about pink taxis or, what's up with that, Neil? Harold Till said, Thailand is like Korea was in the 80s. Bars, 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 nothing serious. I just want to say, I've been there. Okay, he says, Philippines, Thailand, and Vietnam. I've been hearing very good things about these places, my friends. Girl Stip Hop says, I believe Richie Mack lives in Pattaya. Although you don't believe his content is well suited to you, it would be nice if you guys connect as YouTubers with not dissimilar reasons for leaving the U.S. Oh, yeah. No, I'm not. I'm just saying that I don't believe watching his channel would really help me because I'm the newest of newbies going to Thailand. I'm not a new traveler, but Thailand, man, believe it or not, man, I'm kind of scared, man. Once I get settled in my hotel, I'll be okay. But just getting from the airport to my hotel, see, that's always an adventure. That's why I try to guide guys when they come over here. I say, man, flying to Cebu is so much easier than flying into Manila. Darren Coor says, hey, Calvin, how can I contact you? Well, here's my email. We can start out there. But, yeah, I'm just kind of nervous about flying in there. And I don't want to get taken on a ride, literally, with one of them stupid taxis, man. That would piss me off. But once I get there and I'm at the place and, I can breathe in, I walk around and do all of that. I don't have a problem with that. I was watching Anthony Bourdain last night when he went to Thailand, man. He makes it look so fun. But he was in Chiang Mai or somewhere. I hope I pronounced that right. Up north. And, man, he made it look so. And the food he was eating, it just made me want to go there even more. Hey, Jet Tech 81 said, great job on the guest house completion. I'm confident your future guests will have a comfortable, enjoyable stay. Happy birthday as well. Hey, thanks. And I'm not going to have to get a different Wi-Fi for this place because Sam McCall, one of my subscribers, he came to the meet and greet. He's got a Wi-Fi extender that he's sending me, man. And I'm so glad for that. And I'm not really worrying about anybody hacking my Wi-Fi and all of that. I mean, I don't live like that, man. I can't live paranoid like that and looking at everybody as, a potential threat. I just wasn't raised up like that. I know it's going to be happening, and yeah, this is where he was. Thanks, Kevin. By the way, Kevin Sile. I appreciate it. Ryan Scudder says, Chiang Ma. Is that how I'm pronouncing it? Chiang, yeah. Yusuf says, I bought a 24-karat gold ring in Thailand for only about $150 to $200. How much did it weigh? Hey, Hide in the Shower says, too funny the character image, Cal. Doesn't show the age mark. That is okay, Cal. I try to hide mine. No, I'm not trying to hide mine. It was just something that a young lady sent me on my on my Facebook page as a happy birthday, man. I'm proud of every scar I've got, man. Because it's a blessing to grow old. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Some guy, hey, thank you. But yeah, I'm not trying to hide anything, man. I just thought, I would never do that myself. But because she sent it to me, I said, hey, let me put it there as my thumbnail. Just to do something different. He said, not sure how much it weighs. It's not a big ring, but a good deal regardless. Yeah, it just depends on how much it weighs, though, whether it's a good deal. Yeah, growing old BC alternative. Yeah. And that's why when I was talking about yesterday on my video, I wasn't putting old people down, man. That's like a blessing. I'm just saying in the Filipinos' mind, they can't process a certain age. That's why I was telling my friend Sydney, he's a phenomenon, guys. I worked in the Medicare field, and it's not many people that you're going to see his age in the condition he's in. This guy's got his full set of teeth. He does everything on his own. I told him to tell the women over here he was 69 because when he tells them he's 87, their mind goes somewhere else. They can't grasp that. And they don't look at him. But a 69, yeah, they'll grab hold of that. And, okay, it's a little lie, but hell, imagine the little lies they tell us. They're not going to tell you everything either. David Vargas said United States expats trying to be retired in Thailand is very expensive compared to the Philippines. I would say out of the question. Wow. Is that right? Has anybody got any experience with both places? I know Bill Ellis is on here all the time. He's actually living there. But what shocked me was the Airbnbs that I was looking at, they were nice and they were comparable to over here, the prices, And now the hotels I'm looking at are also, comparable to the prices over here, but I'm going to need good Wi-Fi. Hey, Lance Johnson, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Iskandar TV said, Cal, are you going to list all the people on a wood plaque or something that contribute money to help build the guest house? What do you mean, contribute money to build the guest house? Nobody contribute money to specifically build the guest house, Iskandar TV. But anybody that I built the house as a way to say thank you for all the kindness, generosity, and support shown my channel by my subscribers. Because without them, there is no channel. It's my way of giving back, but I don't know what you're talking about. That doesn't even sound like you. Is this the real Iskandari TV? Because that's ridiculous. Will you even say something like that? Hey, Mickey, thanks for that super chat. Everybody that watches my video sends me a super chat. Maybe something on PayPal. They all contribute to that. That's my way of putting back. There's no way. Hell, I'd have to make that whole guest house and put everybody's name. I have to use the whole outside and inside of that, and it still wouldn't be enough room. Hey, Papa Kiko, thank you. He says, happy birthday, Sir Calvin. Still laughing about Borgnine, the tiger of the Pacific. Yeah, it's funny, man. A guy comes over here and proposes to a woman. All these beautiful women over here, and he gets a woman that looks like Ernest Borgnine. But Ernest Borgnine was one of my. I used to get up every Sunday morning, uh, and um, look at that McHale's Navy. He came on Sunday morning in Kentucky. But yeah, I mean, but I know it probably is a fake Iskandari, but you know, even if it's not, I mean, I don't have everything about my channel is transparent. I mean, you know, I'm not doing anything different anybody else does. I mean, you got to understand. Hey, thank you, Zomax, for that super chat. He said, like your channel, man. Good stuff. Now, there you go. Phony Iskandari TV. It's just, you know, people support my channel, man. I mean, I'm not doing anything, you know, that nobody else does. I mean, people, I don't understand why they watch your pockets over here. Hold on, guys. Let me get this fly. But they do. It's ridiculous. I don't understand it. Hey, Ray McCloud said, that's just a stupid question anyway, Calvin. We all appreciate everything you do, good brother. You let us know you appreciate each and every one of us every day. God bless. Yeah, thanks, man. It's just a troll. You know, they'll take your, now see, somebody will take your profile pic, Roy, and then they'll come back and say something stupid. Hey, Link, he says, Cal, I'm an artist by trade, and every woman in the States I've dated has tried to destroy my career in, you know, making money. I'm wondering if it's smart to find a P9 artist. Where are they there? All over. There's a lot here, but I don't know if they're women, but I'm pretty sure they are. There's a guy remember the guy who drew the picture of me for Donna and baby Denise's Sorry store. He's a tattoo artist too, man, over here. AC King said, Calvin, I agree with you. I don't try to hide my age either. Either woman accept you as is or they won't. Starting out with deception is a sure way to kill your chances. Well, she's certainly going to start out with some deception. You know, but I'm just saying that you have to understand, I was telling him, you know, just to, you know, once you get them interested, and then you say, well, you know, I'm really 87, you know, because it's going to be hard. They won't take him serious. That's all I'm saying. He said mediators on vacation this weekend. Yeah, actually what happened was Beach of Life is driving back. He's like on a 10-hour ride. And I don't know what about Jacob Tanjay. Hell, he'd be on the hamster wheel. He's probably enjoying his Saturday night. Hey, Mike, thanks for that super chase. And happy birthday, Cal. Hope you enjoy your special day. Thanks for all that you do, man. I did, man. And remember, my birthday's every day, and you officially get 2 days of your birthday, because it's actually still May the 28th in America. Okay, Philip Jones says, that's bullshit on the cost of living in Thailand. The food is less in Thailand. Housing is about the same without roosters and karaoke. The infrastructure is so much better in Thailand. Yeah, I mean, but remember, we don't even have to compare them. You know, Thailand is Thailand and the Philippines is the Philippines. But yeah, I'm glad you said that. And I'll get a chance, but I would never compare the two, because they're 2 different places. And they both have their strong points. Link 1111 said, Calvin, a woman P9 for marriage is what I'm asking. I was just wondering if it's best I find an artist type. That is all. I wouldn't know though. See, I mean, believe it or not, I wouldn't know. What you really want is to find one that's going to be all in. It's really all in on dating foreigners, man, because that's the tricky thing. See, some of the women over here, they're just going along with it. It's a fad, man, to date a foreigner. And they may want to ride the wave and go to Baraka and different places like that, eat in some nice places, you know. And then, once all that wears off, then she runs off for one little thing or not another. And the guy asked me, how would he know? I said, well, only time is going to tell that. Because you're never going to know. Only time will tell. After 3 years with Marilyn, okay, now see, I know she's all in. Oh, my favorite meal over here are so many. I couldn't tell you. I mean, her mother makes something called the bone. It's made from bamboo, the root of the bamboo with coconut milk and different vegetables and stuff in it, man. It's so delicious. And then it's just so much, man. I couldn't. Barbacoa, that stew like with pork and beef. I mean, it's just so many crazy Filipino dishes that I would have never had. I would have never tried had I came over here and had an open mind. But it's just so many retarded 2019. But I would suggest that you try a lot of these foods over here. You don't want to miss out on them, like macaroni salad. Their macaroni salad is sweet and it's delicious. It's a dessert. Like halo, I wouldn't touch that at first. But then we found a place here in St. Carlos City that makes it with real ice cream. And I'm hooked on that. It's just so many, though. Hey, thanks, Maurice. He says, happy birthday. Bravo, Tunan. Happy birthday. Thanks for all the happy birthday wishes. I ate so much yesterday. I'm like, man, I hope that I make it to 60. And the priest came back, him and another priest. He brought another priest. And these are young priests, man. These are young guys. And I just have to tip my hat to them. I was asking them all kind of questions. It's not so much the religion. It's just the unbelievable sacrifices that they make to become priests and to stay priests. You can't get married. I mean, it's just a whole lot that you can't do. And he was really talking about the things that he could do. And that was kind of interesting. But yeah, the one about not getting married, that would kill it for me. Tony says, I regret marrying the wrong Filipino, the wrong person, unrelated to the nationality. Yeah. But over here, because my blog is about the Philippines, we have to talk about marrying the wrong Filipino, just getting with the wrong Filipino. It's just so easy to do, to get the wrong one, because we're looking on the outside. WT Success, Cal, when are you buying the new bike from Maryland? Well, we were looking at one yesterday. It was really nice. And believe it or not, we go into Gaisano to buy some curtains, okay? Because they had the display out there. They had a bunch of motorcycles, because that's where they know a lot of people are going to be. And we got to talking about it. She said, yeah, I really like that motorcycle. Man, we went back out and it was gone. So, yeah, I was thinking about buying one yesterday for her because her brother, basically, we've already given him that bike. Jonathan S. says, also think and grow rich. You're a good person, so you'll get great information because of your vibration, and anything negative can't come your way significantly. And I believe that. I absolutely believe that 100%. And that's why I keep, I try to stay on that frequency. I'm not going to come down to anybody else's frequency. Then I'll track all of that over here. Yeah, the celibacy kills it for me too. I don't understand. That's such a natural. I don't understand that one. Uh, it covers a lot of problems with that one. You know, they swept that scandal under the rug over in America. They really swept it under the rug, man, because you know it's still going on. Um, and they tried to justify it by paying all those lawsuits and everything like that. Um, but it's something that I just don't understand how they're able to do that, because they're human beings at the end of the day. Somebody might can help me with that. Because, you know, I was talking to a guy when I made that video, the number one reason men come to the Philippines, he said he had prostate cancer. He said, and they took his prostate out, you know, because now they've got other ways to deal with that. And he said he doesn't get an erection now. And, you know, he just sounded like it was really, he regretted the decision. And I want to ask the question, is there life after sex for a man? And I know that may sound shallow, but really, guys, is there life after sex for a man in our age, group? You know, and how do you deal with that? Jonathan S. says, you're using Napoleon Hill's Law of Success just with your channel. Yeah, law number one, mastermind. Yeah, not just Napoleon Hill, even though that was the first book that I actually read. And then a guy came on here and said that stuff doesn't work. And I was like, man, it does work. He sounded like my American wife who said, those books don't work. I said, you're right. They don't work if you don't apply the principles in the books. And she used to get mad because I'd buy those books when we lived in the projects. And the UPS truck would pull up and she was like, we'd have an argument. You know, we can't afford you buying those books. You're wasting your money. They don't work. Then as our life started progressively getting better, I mean, almost overnight, she'd run downstairs out to there and get those books for me and bring them back. Hey, honey, here's your books, you know, because I started practicing going the extra mile, you know, just affirmations, all kind of stuff, man. And our life changed almost overnight, man. We went from living in government housing to a year later, we were living in a 3,700 square foot home. I was earning close to $100,000 a year. I mean, this is 1 year after reading that book. I went on to earn a whole lot more money than that. But you can get disconnected from that too. And that's what happened when I went through my divorce with her. But now that I'm back connected, I'm going to stay connected. The advice in them works. Hide in the shadows. It actually does. If you apply them, if you follow them. Rom Omega 1. He says, as an American Marine cow, do you own any firearms in the Philippines? No. Foreigners can't own any weapons over here. I'm Navy. Yeah, see, this guy right here is on to something. He says the law of increasing returns or the law of compensation, either one. And I knew about that. He said, Ron Scudder says, I don't see how it could be. He says, sex is a major part of life. I guess if it's not an option for you, then it might be different. Yeah, it's kind of, I know it's kind of strange. I wanted to ask anybody about that. Solo Road, thanks for the super chat. Says, shout out from a fellow Louisville native. Oh, man, what's up, brother? Yeah, she used to run out to the UPS truck. I mean, we would have literally arguments over those books because, you know, I just stopped drinking. I stopped drinking in 1998. I discovered Napoleon Hill in 2000. So, you know, I'm still coming off that 23-year career as a town drunk. And we didn't have a whole lot of money. I was working uh, those, work today, pay today type jobs, and just trying to stay sober, man. And I started buying those books, and she was like, "They don't work." And I was like, "Yeah, they don't work. You're right, they don't work." Until I started working a man in hell, she became my number one supporter, really, because people used to laugh at me in my family, and then, you know, as things got better, I should say, "Well, laugh now," and they wouldn't like that. But, it's just my way of saying, this stuff does work if you work it. It's not going to work if you don't work it. Hey, Geo True says, I'm 64, sexual desires diminish somewhat, but it's not gone for sure. I think life does continue after sex. I mean, I would rather be alive and not have sex than die, sexually active. But I'm just asking the question because it's just something, as a man, we're hunters. It's just something that's innate in us. It's there by nature. And I was just wondering if it really worked. If you could have a fulfilling life. Geo Troops and Napoleon Hill is full of knowledge. Yeah. And it's, I don't read the newer books. The only newer stuff I would read is by a guy by the name of Dr. Dennis Kimbrough. And he wrote the book, Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice. Because people don't realize this, but at the time of Napoleon Hill's death, he was writing a book for Black people to help lift them out of their problems, poverty, whatever it was. But he died in 1970, and it languished for 20-something years. And then Dennis Kimbrough was going around. They heard about him. He was going around the country interviewing the most successful Black men in America. And the Napoleon Hill Society, W. Clement Stone was running it, heard about that and asked him and said, "Hey, do you want to finish this manuscript that Napoleon Hill started before his death?" And he did. And man, the book changed my life, man. It did. And, I have to give them credit really for what they did was they reintroduced me to the principles that a lot of principles my mother taught me. And it wasn't from Napoleon Hill, it wasn't from any of those books. It was a sales book that taught me about the platinum rule. The golden rule says treat people the way you want to be treated, right? Well, the platinum rule goes a little bit higher. And this is what I do ever since I learned about it about 20 years ago. It says treat people the way they want to be treated, not the way you want to be treated. Treat them the way they want to be treated. Most people, we think that we're the most important person in the world anyway. So why not just treat people that way? Okay. And that's what I did, man. And so you talking about increasing returns in my insurance business, man. It was like I went from just being a regular insurance guy to like the top of the heap, man. Golden Gate says, I used to golf with a guy who's 87 years old. He would always tell me at the tee box, don't get old. Oh, wow. And it kind of, I had a client. She was 95 years old, a woman, Lexington, Kentucky. And I was, when I first started out, I was one of those old debit agents. And I'm thankful for that because I was real bashful. But getting in front of people every day, it built my confidence up. Well, anyway, I went to collect her insurance. And I just asked her, Miss Jones or whatever her name was, I said, it must be a blessing to live to be 95 years old. And she said, no. She said, Mr. Roach, it's not a blessing. She said, all I do is sit in this chair all day long waiting to die. She said, all my family and friends are gone. This is my life right here. And she said, she was waiting to die. She said, there's no sense in me even living anymore. She was 95, man. Jonathan S. said, yeah, changed my life as well. It highlights the hamster wheel you speak of. and how we can have our peace and desires from loser to legend. Yeah, a lot of stuff stayed in my subconscious mind. But I heard that hamster wheel before on Napoleon Hill. And I just thought to myself, there's got to be more uh, to life than this. See, because what I did when I was reading those self-help books, they tell you to, make your goals and everything. I had reached every goal that I had put down. The money, the house, the cars, and all of that, right? And my problem was I didn't set any more goals. But I got there. I was riding around one time. I had a brand new convertible. Believe it or not, I had a $67,000 commission check in the glove compartment, man. And I was miserable, man. I didn't even want to go home. I was like, man, it's got to be something. It's got to be more to life than this. This is how I felt. And that's when I started, looking at my options, man, because I was really unhappy. Yes, she did. She was waiting to die at 95 years old. The point was all my friends and family are gone. How long do you want to live anyhow when, you can outlive your usefulness? Do you want to just be languishing around, basically a prisoner in your own house or a prisoner in a wheelchair or something like that? That's why a lot of people with that Lou Gehrig's disease, they wait to die. You can't do anything. You can't move. They said just a fly landing on your nose would drive you crazy. Yeah, Hollywood Baby said, Cal, I was a debit agent in American General before I became a firefighter. They were our number one competitors. I worked for United Insurance, and American General was one of our number one competitors that I used to compete with. And I loved my time. I was a debit agent for 2 years, and it's the reason, it was the foundation of my career. I learned so much, good and bad, because, you got to play some games with that debit, with that book, to really reach your, because we were paid commission, but then there was other, what I want to say, criteria that you had to meet, a certain collection percentage, and all of that. And there's some tricks you have to play with that. But I learned so much. I learned to look people in the eye when you talk to them. This guy by the name of Wayne Tipton, he taught me that, man. He was a white guy, man. And he used to be our insurance agent, my mother's insurance agent. And when I told him that I had my license, he said, yeah, I can get you a job with United. And he told me everything I knew. W Secrets of Success blog said, Cal, I'm a 30-year high-tech sales executive, and all my financial success comes from research, books, and formal education. In short, self-investment will yield great returns, period. I know for a fact that's true. I have to agree with you. But we don't want to put in the work. Everybody wants something for nothing. And Napoleon Hill says, nature frowns on the desire to get something for nothing. He said, you got to pay for it in full and in advance. And I started doing all that stuff, man. Going the extra mile, doing stuff that I wasn't getting paid for. And it set me apart from all the rest of the other guys. David Vargas said, no more sex for mature men like us will take a lot of adjusting, but we got to think about how we're going to bring gratification to our woman, and would they stick around and or fool around. Yeah, it's just something that I just always wondered about. Is there life after sex for a middle-aged man? What would you do is just somebody that's experiencing that right now. He regretted it. He said he's 69, his Filipino's 49. He's coming here to meet her. I don't know what they would do. He didn't really go into any detail. He just said he doesn't get any erections anymore, and he regretted the decision. He wished he could have done something else because another guy took some type of radiation pills, and it doesn't render it. It fixes your prostate, but it doesn't render you useless or impotent like when they actually take it out. I just think that's hey, thanks, Ed Roach. He said, greetings, almost cousin. Happy belated born day. I wish many more to come in the future. You know, the prostate is just something that, I mean, it's just a terrible punishment. I mean, I never heard of it. And then being a black man, you know, I'm 50%, you know, more likely to, you know, to contract it. It's scary, man. You know, so I live each day, man, to the fullest, man. And I don't really think about it. It's not in my family, but at my stage in my life right now, man, I would be miserable for a long time. I'd have to, man, I don't know what I would do. Hey, California Oscar said, hey, Calvin, talking about that lady that was 95 years old and wanted to die. If she would do something like what you're doing now, YouTube channel, open it up, sharing her life. Yeah, this is long before YouTube. This is like 2003, 2004. So she's home with Jesus now. I'm sure of that. But it was just Thomas John said testosterone replacement therapy is probably a big thing there. I've heard people talk about it, but I haven't talked to anybody who's actually had it. He said, guys, get a nice silicone sex doll. Low maintenance, no expenses, peace and quiet. He said, if I make it to 95, I'm starting to OnlyFans. He said, love to be able to come over unvaxxed. Bong might change that. By the way, hello from Central Mexico. Hey, buddy, what's going on, man? Yeah, I love Mexico. It's the closest thing that I've come to the Philippines. I actually went to Mexico first. So I was comparing the Philippines to my Philippine experience to my Mexico experience. We went to Playa del Carmen, man, just had the time of our life. It was the first trip that I actually, no, it was the second trip that I won as a insurance agent. The first was Las Vegas. The Beach of Life said, bulletproof your prostate, man. Do Kegels daily. What's that? What the hell is Kegels? Wow, he says, my father has prostate cancer now, and it sucks to watch. Like Calvin says, we need to take care of ourselves and stay active. Go to the doctor and stay positive. Yeah, you know, see, the problem is we don't go to the doctor until it's too late. I don't know what it is about men and the doctor. In my career, that's the reason why a man's health insurance is cheaper than a woman's, because we don't use it. And then consequently, our life insurance is higher because we die sooner than women because we don't go to the doctor. Had in the shadow said, could be worse. Trump's wife told him that the only piece of ass he will get from now on is when his finger goes through the toilet paper. Well, hell, you know, Trump's got big money. If he's able, I know and then he's got a bunch of groupies. People love Trump. I don't think he's going to have any problems getting a woman. He said, how long will your visa last after your run? 3 years again. The preparation for financial success isn't a fun process. It's hard work. If you're self-made, but the rewards would be much appreciated. You know, a lot of people, we're afraid to fail. So we never try. But a lot of people are afraid of success. What if it works? You know, now what? Can I handle success? You know, when you caught in the middle, like, you know, you climbing up a mountain, you know, you done got too far to come back down if you're in that sort of situation. Um, and, that's why it's very important to have some goals, man. Just to have some idea of where you're going. That gives my life some meaning, man. He says, food is world class in Mexico. Absolutely. When I went to Cancun by myself, man, I had the best steak, and believe it or not, I had the best steak and lobster tail I've had in a long time. He said, reminds me, I still have some Trump toilet paper somewhere. One man's trash is another man's treasure. Some people really love Trump. He said the blood test only tests for prostate cancer. Other prostate problems can creep up until it's too late. My worst nightmare. Yeah, I don't even want to put that out there in the universe. But at least there's more options now. The one that won't leave you useless. I mean, I just don't think that a friend of mine, a subscriber, man, his father died at 61 of prostate. Sometimes they catch it too late. There's nothing you can do. It's already spread. Yeah, he said he had steak and lobster in Cancun. Yeah. And when we were in Playa del Carmen, man, the staff, they treated us so nice, man. The Mexican people there, they were so hospitable. I guess because that was their job. But, man, I felt welcome there. Yeah, Mexican food. I love Mexican food even today. They've got a good place in Boracay. I can't think of the name of it, but it's real authentic Mexican food. The enchiladas, just the tacos. It's really good. But yeah, I was compelled to ask the question, is the pandemic over in the Philippines? When you get here, you're going to notice that a lot of people aren't even wearing masks. When we went to Bantayan Island, and this really shocked me, and that's a small island, nobody was wearing masks. Even when we went to the store, man, nobody was wearing masks. The workers, I couldn't believe it. It's alert 1 in Manila. The only alert level left is 0, where they take the mask. The masks are no longer required. I don't think that'll ever happen here. So we're in the new normal right now. There's no contact tracing anymore. It's like they're not worried about the spread of the disease anymore, the virus. And of course, we've all heard now the good news is no COVID-19 pre-departure test for incoming tourists in the Philippines who are fully vaccinated with at least one booster, man. I mean, that's huge right there. The Philippines is like, come on here. We're trying to reopen. We're trying to be fully open again. No travel insurance. The two big things that hindered people coming over, the only thing left now is that iHealth Pass. And without the COVID and without the travel insurance, why even have that now? See, it just has that pre-pandemic feel to it, man. Now when you go places, it's those long lines are returning. And that's the Philippines of old. And I'm going to be honest with you. It wouldn't be the Philippines without them long lines. Philip Jones said, Cal, that's Tex-Mex, not Mexican food. Mexican food, depending where you are, is predominantly seafood. Wow, is that right? Yeah, you're right then. Yeah. Yeah, he said, Calvin, some here is no mask in the USA. Yeah, but, Stephen, the United States never, a lot of people would never even admitted that there was a COVID pandemic to begin with over there. And that's a fact. But over here, it was a real lockdown. One of the strictest lockdowns in the whole world. And now to see it go from one extreme to this other extreme, I mean, it took 2 years, but man, I'm so happy. It's like the pandemic is over now. If I could turn this around, everybody walks past my house. Nobody has on a mask. It used to be, I didn't care if you were 2 kilometers away from somebody else. They still had their mask on walking around here. Same with on a motorcycle. But now you don't see that. People are really, trying to get on with their lives again. And I'm glad. Because that tourism is big over here, man. 1 out of 5 Filipinos work in the tourism field. That's unbelievable, man. 10% of the gross domestic product comes from tourism, domestic and international tourism. And to see it getting back to normal, man, it's big over here, man. It's something that I'm so glad, man, because it wasn't the Philippines that I fell in love with. It wasn't. The beach of lifestyle, I just want to bring my passport and walk in. Yeah, it's coming, man. It's coming. I think the next thing after the health pass leaves is then they'll allow unvaccinated people to come in. But they'll probably say, okay, if you didn't, but they'll say, like Thailand, you got to take the COVID test and you got to quarantine, which I think people would do that. Keith White says here in Baguio, everyone's still wearing masks. Yeah, well, they said they're pretty strict in Baguio. Somebody said you still have to have a QR code and all that. Hey, Philip Cooper, what's going on, man? He says, I just got in from the market. Good to see you and happy belated. Thank you, man. My birthday's still going on in America, man. Don't blow it for me, Philip. Carl Childer said, I couldn't imagine wearing a mask and walk down the street. Yeah, it's uncomfortable, especially when it's hot as hell. But I'll put it down here until I get near somebody, then I'll pull it up, or if I get in a tricycle. Had in the shadow says, think most of the world is just waiting to see how this fall run of COVID goes before eliminating everything. Well, starting, let's see, today's the 29th, so starting tomorrow, you don't need that pre-departure. That's going to save you a lot of money if you're thinking about coming to the Philippines, especially in the United States. How much was those COVID tests costing, guys? And then on top of that, you have to pay another $80 for the insurance, which I would check the box and have would have the travel insurance anyhow. It's going to cover you for something. Now, to have that $35,000 COVID, is that needed? It's up to you. I would say I'm going to have it when I come back in. Yeah. You're right. Normally, we forget about ex-presidents, but he just won't get out of news. He won't go sit down. This is crazy. He won't do it. The way he's always in the news, it's like he's still the president. Regular guy in the Philippines says last 2 years in Korea, strict mask mandate. During that time, numbers went from 300 a day to 600 a day. 600,000 masks don't do anything. It's funny, but when I used to come to the Philippines and I'd stop in Korea and Japan, they were already wearing masks a long time ago. I used to just wonder to myself, why are these people wearing these masks? Remember Michael Jackson had that mask? Oh, yeah, Steve, I know it's not over yet. I'm just asking that question because it seems like it's over in the Philippines. They really gotten lenient. There's no more contact tracing, man. That was a big deal of it. If you had it, then they could see where you've been and who you've been around. They don't even do that anymore. He said Cancun, Mexico has changed so much the last 8 years. It's now like a southern U.S. beach town. Big condos, bad traffic, and a huge tourist trap. And a lot of kidnapping stories, but it was great. I love Cancun. I went there a long time ago. Um, I went there in 2009, right before I came here to the Philippines. Now, I went to uh, Playa del Carmen in 2007. I went to Cancun in 2009, and I really had a great time. And that's when I knew I was leaving the United States for good. When I went to Cancun and started meeting those nice women and the way they were treating you down there. Hey, Dr. Phil07, thanks for that super chat. He said, birthday greetings from the Bay Area, Calvin. All the best. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm not talking about a conspiracy. I'm just saying all the lockdowns, all the restrictions, they're basically gone here. The only thing you see, the only remnants of that COVID left, because they basically taking it off the news here. You know how it used to be on the news every single day, regular guy in the Philippines. It's no longer in the news. He said Michael Jackson predicted COVID. Well, actually, it was going on, uh, believe it or not. There was a pandemic held, 100 years ago or something? Geo Truth said exactly regular guy. Yeah. Uh, Now, I'm not going to talk about conspiracy. I'm just saying that it's back to normal here, and I'm kind of glad. I mean, how would you even know you had it unless you took the test? Yeah, it was constantly on the news, but now they've taken it out of the news. You know, every day it was like how many cases. I could look on. Okay, the first thing you would see if you, let's see, if you opened up the news, you would see the COVID numbers, but not anymore. You don't see it anymore like you used to. And that was a big deal. You don't hear about it anymore. But yeah, guys, I'm going to get off of here. I want to thank y'all so much for all your super chats, super stickers, all your thumbs up. Remember, we go to the grocery store on Sunday, and she's motioning and making all these faces. It's time to go. I appreciate all your support, man, for Sunshine Shows. Remember, the guest house is finished, guys. I'm going to put instructions on how to book this place. It's free. Just be a subscriber. Just have your passport. And prove who you are. And remember, I've got phase 3 for anybody who wants to come here and play games. But this place is nice, man. It's comfortable. I'm going to wait until I get that Wi-Fi extender before I buy the TV. But the television is really the only thing missing. The toaster's there. The refrigerator's there. I do have to get the water dispenser, which that's nothing. I can get that. But we're getting ready to open it up for everybody. It's been blessed already. It's ready to go. So take care, everybody. Let me get my Sunshine Show. Let me piss some people off. They don't like my theme song, but the fact that this guy made this for me is unbelievable. And I'll play it as long as I've got a channel. Anthony Edwards. He's living in Seattle right now, as a matter of fact. He's up there with Michael Beecher Live. There's a couple of guys on here from Seattle. Sunshine
gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground.
Thank y'all, everybody. Take care. Look for me in Thailand pretty soon. You're going to turn on my channel